थैंक यू। नहीं नहीं दूध नहीं। आप लोग सो समझ ना? तो फूल की सेवा कौन करेगा? आप इधर आ गए तो।
अभी महाराज का वो रूम चेंज तो केक बनाना पड़ता।
ओह
तो
ठीक है। हरे कृष्ण। Similarly, mother material nature cannot produce any living entity from her material elements unless and until she is impregnated with living entities by the Lord Himself. Generation of living entities. This impregnating process is performed by the first Purusha incarnation, Karnarnavashayi Vishnu. It is called Karnarnavashayi Vishnu. 2 times Arna is there. Simply by his glance, or simply you say Mahavishnu, Mahatattva. Pradhan becomes Mahatattva by the glance of Mahavishnu. So there will never be confusion. Simply by his glance over material nature, the whole matter is accomplished. We should not understand the process of impregnation by the personality of Godhead in terms of our conception of sex. The omnipotent Lord can impregnate just by his eyes, and therefore he is called all-potent. Each and every part of his transcendental body can perform each and every function of his other parts. This is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita 5.32. So many times we have discussed this. Angani yats sakalendriya vittimanti. In the Bhagavad Gita 14.3 also, the same principle is confirmed. Mam yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadami aham. When the cosmic creation is manifested, the living entities are directly supplied from the Lord. They are never products of material nature. Thus, no scientific advancement of material science. Sorry. Thus, no scientific advancement of material science can ever produce a living being. That is the whole mystery of the material creation. The living entities are foreign to matter, and thus they cannot be happy unless they are situated in the same spiritual life as the Lord. The mistaken living being, out of forgetfulness of his original condition of life, unnecessarily wastes time trying to become happy in the material world. The whole Vedic process is to remind one of this essential feature of life. The Lord offers the conditioned soul a material body for his so-called enjoyment. But if one does not come to his senses and enter into spiritual consciousness, the Lord again puts him in the unmanifested condition as it is existed in the beginning of the creation. Very important. The whole Vedic process is to remind one of this essential feature of life. The Lord offers the conditioned soul. Yesterday also we were reading that what is the purpose of creation. The Lord offers the conditioned soul a material body for his so-called enjoyment. But if one does not come to his senses and enter into spiritual consciousness, the Lord again puts him in the unmanifested condition as it existed in the beginning of the creation. Bhutva bhutva praliyate. The Lord is described here as vīryavān, or the greatest potent being, because he impregnates material nature with innumerable living entities who are conditioned from time immemorial. Tato abhavan mahattattvam avyaktat kāla-chodita vijnana atma dehastham vishvam brajajam stamonuda. Thereafter, influenced by the interaction of eternal time, the supreme sum total of matter called the Mahatattva became manifested by the interaction of eternal time. The supreme sum total of matter called Mahatattva become manifested, and in this Mahatattva, the unalloyed goodness, the Supreme Lord, sowed the seed of universal manifestation out of his own body. This is very, very technical. In due course of time, he impregnated material energy. In due course of time, the impregnated material energy was manifested first as the total material ingredients. Everything takes its own time to fructify, and therefore the word kāla-vṛttyā, influenced by time, is used here. The Mahatattva is the total consciousness because a portion of it is represented in everyone as the intellect. Mahatattva is the total consciousness, and portion of it is represented in everyone as the intellect. The Mahatattva is directly connected with consciousness of the same being, but still it appears as matter. The Mahatattva shadow of pure consciousness is the, please very actively here, the Mahatattva or shadow of pure consciousness. Mahatattva is not pure. Mahatattva is total consciousness, but it is the shadow of pure consciousness, is the germinating place of all creation. It is pure goodness with the slight addition of the material mode of passion, and therefore activity is generated from this point. Soapi amsha guna kāla-atma bhagavad-drishti gochara atmanam vyakarodātma vishvasya asya sisrakasya sisrakshaya. Thereafter, the Mahatattva differentiated itself into many different forms as the reservoir of future entities. The Mahatattva is chiefly in the mode of ignorance. What it was mentioned before? That it is pure goodness. Huh? The Mahatattva is total consciousness because the portion of his... The Mahatattva is directly connected with the supreme consciousness of Supreme Word, but still it appears as matter. The Mahatattva is shadow pure. It is pure goodness with the slight addition. Here it is being said, it is in the mode of ignorance. Mahatattva is chiefly in the mode of ignorance, and it generates the false ego. It is the plenary expansion of the personality of Godhead with full consciousness of creative principle and time for fructification. The Mahatattva lies between pure spirit and material existence. It is the junction of matter and spirit. The Mahatattva lies between spirit and material existence. It is the junction of matter and spirit, wherefrom the false ego of the living entity is generated. When the living entity enters the material realm, this material creation, the material nature gives him the first gift. What is that? False ego. And where this false ego is coming from? It is coming from the Mahatattva. And what this false ego does? It covers the constitutional position of the living entity, and he misidentifies himself with matter, and he forgets that he is connected to the spirit soul. He forgets that he is spirit soul. All living entities are differentiated parts and parcels of the personality of Godhead. Under the pressure of false ego, the conditioned souls, although parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, claim to be the enjoyers of material nature. This false ego is the binding force of material existence. The Lord again and again gives the bewildered, conditioned soul a chance to get free from this false ego. And that is why the material creation takes place at intervals. He gives the conditioned soul all facilities for rectifying the activities of false ego. But it does not interfere with their small independence as parts and parcels of the Lord. बहुत ध्यान से सुनने का प्रयास करिएगा ताकि कुछ समझ में आ जाए. हाँ, हालांकि क्रिएशन समझना इतना सरल नहीं है. अब देखिए कहां से इसमें ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन आएंगे. विकोर्यवाद का मतलब है ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन, मतलब फर्दर expansions and further transformation, further changes. What is the first transformation? Is the interaction with the Mahatattva. So what comes out is the false ego. The living entity gets the false ego. Okay, this is the first transformation. Now further transformations. Mahattattvam vikurvanat aham tattvam vyajayata कार्यकारण कर्ता आत्मा कृता आत्मा भूतेन्द्रिय मनोमया वैकारिकस्तेजसश्च तामसश्चेति अहम त्रिधा. The Mahatattva or the great causal truth transforms into false ego. This we have seen, which is manifested in three phases: cause, effect, and doer. All such activities are on the mental plane and are based on the mental elements, gross senses, and mental speculations. The false ego is represented in three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. इसको ऐसे समझिए. Cause, effect, and doer. The false ego. First, the transformation of the Mahatattva is in the form of false ego. And when the false ego, it interacts, then the three modes is generated or represented: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now false ego will interact with each. That is next. पहले अभी इसको समझ लीजिए. The pure living entity in his original spiritual existence is fully conscious of his constitutional position, what I was explaining, as an eternal servitor of the Lord. All souls who are situated in such pure consciousness are liberated, and therefore they eternally live in bliss and knowledge in the various Vaikuntha planets in the spiritual sky. When the material creation is manifested, it is not meant for them. The eternally liberated souls are called Nitya Muktas, and they have nothing to do with the material creation. The material creation is meant for rebellious souls. समझ गए? तो हमारा एक पोजीशन तो है ही है. जब तक हम लिबरेटेड नहीं होते तब तक हमारी ये पोजीशन तो है ही है. वो क्या है? रेबेलियस सोल, who are not prepared to accept subordination under the Supreme Lord. This spirit of false lordship is called false ego. This is false ego. Where is false ego coming from? Where is false ego coming from? बताइए. अरे अभी तो बताया, इतना एक्सप्लेन किया. Where is false ego coming from? मानिनी माता जी.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम. महातत्व प्रभु जी.
हाँ, महातत्व. सो महातत्व का ये महाश्राप है. वो क्या है? फॉल्स ईगो, मिथ्या अभिमान. और ये मिथ्या अभिमान क्या करता है? हमारी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल पोजीशन को कवर कर देता है. वी डू नॉट आइडेंटिफाई आवरसेल्फ विद कृष्णा as the subordinate and servant. We identify ourselves with matter as the Lord and enjoyers. When the material creation is manifested, it is not the eternally liberated souls are okay. The material creation is meant for rebellious souls who are not prepared to accept subordination under the Supreme Lord. This spirit of false lordship is called false ego. It is manifested in the three modes of material nature, and it exists in mental speculation only. Those who are in the mode of goodness think that each and every person is God, and thus they laugh at the pure devotees who try to engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Those who are puffed up by the mode of passion try to lord it over the material nature in various ways. Some of them engage in altruistic activities as if they were agents appointed to do good to others by their mental speculative plans. Such men accept the standard ways of mundane altruism, but their plans are made on the basis of false ego. This false ego extends to the limit of becoming one with the Lord. The last class of egoistic conditioned souls, those who are in the mode of ignorance. So see how the false ego interacts with the three modes and how the person's thinking, willing, and feeling is affected. The false ego extends to the limit of becoming one with the Lord. Okay, the last class of egoistic conditioned souls, those in the mode of ignorance, are misguided by identification of the gross body with the self. Thus, all their activities are centered around the body only. All these persons are given the chance to play with false egoistic ideas. But at the same time, the Lord is kind enough to give them a chance to take help from scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, so that they may understand the science of Krishna and thus make their lives successful. The entire material creation, therefore, is meant for the falsely egoistic living entities hovering on the mental plane under different illusions in the mode of material nature. Okay, I'll take one more, 30th. Aham tattvad vikurvanan manovikariyat abhuta vaikarikascha ye deva artha abhivyanjanam yatha. The false ego is transformed into mind by the interaction of the mode of goodness. ठीक है? तो सबसे पहले स्पिरिट सोल कहां से, महाविष्णु से, वो कहां पे पहुंचती है, इस महातत्व में, मैनिफेस्टेड फॉर्म में. ठीक है ना? पहले समझ लो अच्छे थे कैसे आया. लिविंग एंटिटी कहा था, इट इज कॉम्पैक्ट अनमैनिफेस्ट इन महाविष्णु. जब महाविष्णु से ग्लांस आया तो क्या हुआ, प्रधान इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू महातत्व. तो कैसे हुआ, दृष्टिपात हुआ, हिज ग्लांस. उस ग्लांस से जैसे ही महातत्व आया, ऑल द लिविंग एंटिटीज थ्रू द ग्लांस एंटर द महातत्व. From the Mahatattva, what the living entity, when they interact, what they get? False ego. And simultaneously, the three modes are also, by the influence of Kala Shakti, the three modes are also manifested. Then this false ego interacts with the three modes. ठीक है? तो जब when the false ego is interacting with the mode of goodness, the false ego is transformed into mind by interaction with the mode of goodness. तो क्या डेवलप हो गया, क्या मैनिफेस्ट हो गया, फॉल्स ईगो मैनिफेस्ट हो गई, उसके बाद माइंड मैनिफेस्ट हो गया. All the demigods who control the phenomenal world are also products of the same principle. So mode of goodness, इसलिए all the demigods are in mode of goodness. Namely the interaction of the false ego in the mode of goodness. Mind. और माइंड का देवता कौन है? Who is the presiding deity of mind? Who is the presiding deity of mind? बताइए. Hundreds of times we have studied. Ravinder? बोलो प्रभु. यार क्या कर रहे हो, सोच क्या रहे हो, संशय क्या है? अनम्यूट करो, बोलो। देखो ये हाल है, इतना बेसिक नहीं पता है, इतने सालों से सुन रहे हैं तो ये हाल है। प्रियंका आप बताओ। वेरी बैड। मनोराम।
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, in some of the previous chapter, I think Prabhuji, you told moon, I think it was.
Yes, that is partially correct. What is the principal deity? What you were saying is not wrong. It is the moon god. That is correct. अरे चार, सबसे पहले चार चतुर्व्यूह नहीं आता है क्या? वासुदेव, संकर्षण, प्रद्युम्न and अनिरुद्ध. Vasudev is representing the spirit soul, pure spirit soul. Sankarshan is representing what? Sankarshan is representing the false ego. You people are really rascals. कम से कम 1000 बार तो बता दिया है तुम लोगों को मैं ये, नहीं बताया है क्या? Pradyumna is representing intelligence and Aniruddha is representing the mind. वासुदेव, संकर्षण, प्रद्युम्न और अनिरुद्ध नहीं सुना क्या भाई आपने मनोराम? पिछले 10 साल में कितनी बार सुने हो? 1000 बार तो सुने होगे। प्रियंका तुमने नहीं सुना क्या? बोलो। तो ये इतना बेसिक कैसे आपको याद नहीं रहता है? इसमें याद क्या करना है? तो इसका मतलब चतुर्व्यूह क्या है ये पता ही नहीं है। जब भगवान राम का आविर्भाव था, कितनी बार मैंने रामायण के ऊपर क्लास लिया है। राम, लक्ष्मण, भरत और शत्रुघ्न ये चतुर्व्यूह हैं। कितने प्रपोर्ट्स में प्रभुपाद जी बोल रहे हैं। कितनी बार एक्सपेंशन क्रिएशन आता है उसमें चतुर्व्यूह आता है, हर बार बताते हैं। हाँ, ऐसे आप सबके सब डब्बा बन के बैठे हुए हैं, जैसे कभी सुना ही नहीं है। ये कौन सी नई चिड़िया आ गई? The false ego is transformed into mind by interaction with the mode of goodness. Okay, all the demigods, ठीक है, ये तो हमने बता दिया। False ego interacting with the different modes of material nature is the source of all material in the phenomenal world. अभी मैं आगे नहीं पढ़ा रहा हूँ, वो टाइम भी नहीं है, ठीक है। अपना भैया बेसिक क्लियर कर लो। हाँ, मैंने तो बहुत बार कोशिश की घोट घोट के आपको पिला दूं, लेकिन आप लोग उल्टी कर दो तो फिर मैं क्या करूं? हाँ, बार बार उल्टी मैं पिलाऊं, आप उल्टी कर दो तो अंदर कहां से जाएगा? लिखो, इसलिए कहता हूं मूर्खों, लिखो। नहीं लिखोगे तो नहीं जाएगा, वो किताब में ही रह जाएगा। और आप लोग भी इतने जिद्दी हो कि नहीं लिखोगे, तो फिर मैं क्या करूं? अब मैं क्लास लेने बंद कर दूंगा अगर आप लोग नहीं, सही बता रहा हूं, क्योंकि कोई फायदा नहीं है ऐसे क्लास लेने से। हाँ, कलयुग के लक्षण को आप छोड़ना नहीं चाहते। लिखोगे तो निश्चित रूप से भगवान स्मृति देंगे। अगर आप भूल भी जाओगे तो याद दिला देंगे, क्लू दे देंगे। और नहीं लिखोगे तो कुछ नहीं आएगा, कुछ नहीं आएगा। हफ्ते में एक राइटअप सबके लिए कंपलसरी है पुरुषोत्तम मंथ में, ठीक है। हफ्ता कल से शुरू शुरू हो गया है। इस पुरुषोत्तम मंथ में सबको एक 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 राइटअप लिखना अनिवार्य है, नहीं तो मैं क्लास में नहीं आने दूंगा, नहीं तो मैं क्लास लेना ही बंद कर दूंगा। समझ गए? ये सबके लिए कंपलसरी है, समझ गए? तो ये जो चैप्टर हमने शुरू किया है इसके ऊपर लिखना शुरू कर दो। रोज एक आध पैरा, ज्यादा नहीं, आप अपनी एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी लिख के भेजो, चलेगा। प्रॉपर अंडरस्टैंडिंग, हरे कृष्णा। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। हरि हरि बोल। मैं कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं ले रहा, क्वेश्चन में कोई मीनिंग नहीं है। हरे कृष्ण।